think only had 2 kills into the game on that map. So they did a great job to hold that. And this round, it seems as though they're expecting this push coming in from the sewers for Immortals, and 2 to drop early for TSM, as only 1 more inside the site. It's going to be Wardell, and that push is coming in for Immortals.
Oh, Wardell getting gunned down as Shanks is the point man for Immortals, leading in as Reyna.
Spike planted.
Immortals looking solid in the pistol as TSM is now down to just 2 players. It's going to be Cutler and the Omen by his side. See if they can make it in. Hazed trying to spot some targets, but it's actually Cutler through the smoke and the edge of the wall to take care of jmoh. So they're going to be moving in closer and closer. Genghsta's around the corner with 1 HP. And they're still taking their time getting into position. They're waiting for this dark cover to fade. Now it starts to, but that makes it all that much more difficult as the
on the defender side to start. Immortals looking to push very aggressively what they have towards this long C side, and Hayes just goes for that spray through the smoke, connects onto jmoh. The top fragger, as I mentioned before, for Immortals on that previous matchup versus LG, but Shanks is not done. He continues to push in. He gets 2 entries, and that's an open site now for IMM. But the retake attempt, as Wardell is already in position.
Wardell, not even sure where that Al drone was. It was so high it actually escaped the scope on his op, and he gets tagged again as a result, as no one took it out. So 2 darts for Wardell as they're trying to come through from spawn. You can see drone is set up ready to go for a flash through, playing on the Phoenix. I'll take a dart in his side, and the team's going to start backing off. They realize this one's lost. There's not much that can be done, so TSM will surrender another round away. As Immortals go for a fast take towards C. Initially, it looked good for TSM as you watched Hayes take that long-range duel through the dark cover, pick somebody off, but just wasn't prepared.
Cover going out.
Cutting their vision.
There's the flash coming out. Hayes doesn't stand a chance. Tried to either throw down a flash of his own or a smoke, but instead just gets overwhelmed, bombarded by that fast play onto the site. And you've got Empress popped now by Shanks, increasing the fire rate and decreasing the likelihood of a TSM round win. Nice shock dart to the backside of site that allows Wardell to get into a better position with the operator. Smoke starts to fade. It's another pick off for Wardell. He's going to have to hit a quick scope, doesn't get it. It's now down to Cutler. We called him Clutchler in the pregame. Does he have what it takes here? Nice recon dart and takes down jmoh. He's got time still. 51 HP, though, is going to be his biggest barrier as the clock starts to tick down lower and lower, and now it's lost. Not much can be done. Well played by Genghsta. Scenario that was just too difficult for him, trying to retake that C site. So what do they decide to do here? It looks like they want to get aggressive. So they're actually getting aggressive towards A main. Subroza pops the ult, and that's what allows him to execute jmoh. He goes for the dismiss and sneaks into the corner, goes inside the cyber cage as well. That pulse is going to hit as they spam away. They heard the ping on the cyber cage. So it's a good connection and a good read coming in from Immortals. The aggressive play from TSM stomped out. And Immortals now has to shift their weight elsewhere. jcStani trying to lead the team back to C, but they still had 1 lingering piece over towards A. It was Neptune, who's been taken out since. He was low on HP and dropped. Now they have to fight with Wardell, who's backside sight. Shanks gonna go down, and just like that, TSM finds their round.
Omen. What I mean by that is you're always going to throw that smoke towards long C. Let's talk about it a little bit, actually. A little bit later. Subroza actually is creeping down. He gets the first kill, but not able to dismiss on time, so he gets immediately traded off by jmoh. Now that they're rotating back towards A, I would not be surprised if you see a dart coming through, and then you also have an owl drone, but it's going to be the Empress and Lears to lead the charge for Immortals to move inside A. Waiting to play the retake as everybody's falling back towards the spawn site. A stinger and it hands of Cutler. Tough time to work with.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't see drone go up into the window with Subroza peeking towards mid-garage.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting to see how things changed the dynamic on that. jmoh is going to shred apart Wardell. Drone at least finds 1 on his ult entry into the site with run it back. Now that gets taken care of. But the clock is becoming a problem. Hayes has to move in closer. Nice Lear coming through. It allows the peek from jmoh as he's focused more on long than short. And jmoh is going to cap off the 4K. But again, we're just seeing pressure on either A or C. It's one or the other. There is no mid presence. And I like the fact that they're finally having those reads from TSM. You can see them starting to make their way in. That's why hazed was able to pick off Neptune. Genghsta's got the ult popped as well. There they go into the site. jcStani back box with the into the shadows.
Spike
Not enough
planted.
charges there from Cutler to cancel the spike plant. The spike will go down. It's a 5-on-4. It's one of the first times in a while we've seen a numbers advantage here for TSM as Wardell tries to fly in with the shotgun out. Nice shots onto Shanks, follow up onto jmoh, swaps aside to the rifle. And it puts all the pressure on jcStani and Genghsta, but hold on! They somehow make this work. The HP is low, so this is still quite difficult. With Subroza and Drone both coming through, the blaze wall is going to go up.
Wow.
That's a quick flick from Subroza. And a vertical one to say the least. jcStani can't even go through this blaze wall because his health is so low, he died to the flames. He'll pick off the diffuser, but it doesn't matter. There should be time here for Drone to get it. It's going to be close, but it'll be down to about 1 second on the clock. As TSM pick up a...
Or most of the times, you see a lot of red on the left side of the kill feed, which means there's no trades that are happening. So is it a lack of information moving into the site, not really setting up for the trades? But on this half, it's going to be Shanks and his company doing the same thing as TSM did on pistols, but they're the ones that come out on top. Pushing down the sewers, getting the first kill, now this time falling back into the site. Even a dark cover to slow down the pace of TSM as they have to recuperate the spike towards spawn. But it's still a 4-on-3. Silver lining is that you have 2 players, and Genghsta and Shanks, who are very low on HP. So this could still be very doable as they're booking it towards the C side. Thing is, though, Neptune anchored inside C side, playing off the camera first. And that is going to be the tell to just hold in.
Wardell, the first one to go in.
remaining.
Neptune is there with the frenzy. And a quick 1-2 punch from the frenzy. Subroza now. All the way in defender spawn. Trying to work his way through with that Cypher Ghost. 30 seconds left.
30
the spike is
seconds
down
left.
on long C, so it's a good distance away from him currently. He's trying to spot somebody out. He hears the footsteps. That's the jump peaks coming in. Now, did they get that jump peak in time? I don't think they got it in time, so they didn't get that intel necessarily, but they were still holding the angle regardless. The recon dart's going to give away the position. Subroza's really just looking to do something, make something happen here. But they are making it so incredibly difficult as Shanks swings to find its maybe.
I was going to say, you want to start back at the beginning? It's like 5 minutes ago.
it feels like this game literally just started. It's kind of wild.
Yep. Map point now for Immortals. The camera up. And right now they could try to burst out through the dark cover, but jcStani has different plans. After that recon dart comes out, just spamming through the smoke because they know the execution's coming, and it's just paying off. Ford already dead. Subroza, not many chances to go on another lurk. That's twice that he's trying to do something for the team with the lurk, but it doesn't pay off with mid control.
Drone. He's pushed up far. The boom bot will come around the corner. A couple of burst shots coming up from the classic. Nade to follow as well. That's going to push Drone in closer. There's the nice flash coming out from Breach. That allows Drone into that position. Meanwhile, inside the cyber cage, you've got Neptune with the frenzy. Timing is everything, and it works out well. They have jmoh peek from ropes and Neptune peek from mailroom. And that 1-2 punch produces success. The drive-by dink shot for Shanks is right on the money. But it's not a fatal blow. The team is trying to get back in, but Subroza is doing everything possible. jmoh falls short as well, despite the fact that Subroza is low on HP. There's enough time to throw out an aid, and look at the damage that was dealt. It's a chunky boy. Shanks getting tagged up as he goes for the self-heal. He's down to 42 HP. The target right around the corner, but one in B main. TSM pick up a big pistol. Kind of a non-factor. There is a lurk in that area right now. That's Drone who's over there lurking as Phoenix, but they're going to be heading towards the A site. There's a lot of firepower here.
Cool.
Genghsta doesn't get cleared. He's up on top, and he's got Neptune backing him up as well. It's now just one player over on the site. Drone is too far away from the play to really offer up any level of support, so Wardell has to back off and try and save this up. Quick shot out onto Neptune. Once upon a time, those two were teammates. TSM, yet again, player disadvantage. There's the ult in the backside of sight. I actually like this move from Neptune. Just kind of surrendering control, realizing it wasn't worth it to stick around. Because if he peeks to the backside of sight, he's got no cover for main. So he could ultimately get spotted from two different angles. Wardell with the pickoff. A nice shot onto jcStani as well.
Spike planted.
So TSM, they lost a player, but they took the advantage back. Now Genghsta from up top is able to connect onto at least one. Neptune's trying to move into position. And he's flying through the sky currently.
One enemy remaining.
Slowly drifting downward, going inside the smoke, looking for a line of sight on anyone.
Fall back from the shadows to try to get some information. But TSM off that will decide to fall back and rush back towards the A site. Shanks trying to push forward to try to surprise them, but Subroza was ready for it this time.
Immortals.
They're running back to B.
Yeah, Immortals is shifting off to this A site, but TSM is running B.
The thing is, jmoh is at bottom mid, so he heard them run towards spawn
left.
side. So he's like, they're going spawn to A, everybody's rotating, but he never heard them run back towards B. So he kept walking through sewers.
Spike planted.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. How he didn't hear that one, how that came to be. So, Wardell
Player remaining.
picking off one, but it's Subroza who's in spawn, currently finding shot after shot. It's a 4K for Subroza as TSM control the score. Smoke's coming down towards A, and oh man. Immortals, they were falling for it at first, but you can see they're starting to shift back, especially with that tripwire going down. They have one player in sight. It's Neptune, who's only got a classic, and he's hoping he can maybe get a line of sight onto somebody and stop the spike plant. He knows there's one behind him. Is the burst where it needs to be? Yes. But there's the repeat coming in from Wardell. Genghsta with the stinger. What can Genghsta do? Peeking out. Cloud burst lands right on top of him, makes it a little bit harder to try to make something happen. His teammate coming in from heaven only has a sheriff.
Shadows traveling.
So he's just going to try and throw that smoke down on top of the spike and hope for the best. They're sticking it currently. They've got it to halfway. Oh man, that was a little sketchy there, but Wardell hit that.
So Subroza and Wardell are taking advantage of it.
The hunt begins.
Rolling Thunder up towards B heaven. Will this force a rotate out? You have also from the shadows the ultimate from Omen in the back of the site. So they are quickly executing through. And Drone gets the two openers, looks back towards the heaven, goes for the hat trick, headshot onto Genghsta. As Wardell leaves it into the hands of jmoh. As the last man standing on a 3 versus 1, walking through the dark cover, classics and armor for the defenders.
Well, there's Drone with a pickoff. The nade goes down, paint shells into the ramp area. Boombot to lead up as well. There's a lot of bodies currently building up here. Now, the Boombot spots a target. They have managed to get that spike across onto the site, so all of this fighting has pushed TSM back far enough that they've been able to get out onto the site and guarantee a plant out of this. The Boombot coming in from TSM is not exactly going where it was supposed to. Drone will find another one, though, with his classic. Genghsta drops Cutler, but Drone comes through and finds a third on the round. It's all up to Shanks, who's inside. He's playing as the Reyna, so he's got that self-heal. He's got multiple self-heals. Somehow Shanks has made it almost possible. It's down to a one-on-one. Shanks, the stand-in, the substitute, eventually taken care of by Drone, but it got a little bit scary there, as Drone has to find a 4K on the round, capping off with a 1v1. TSM puts number 9 up on the scoreboard.
But as there was no early pressure, couldn't take advantage of it, and he decides to take the safe route to just play it off the callouts from his teammates of where they could spot this opposition. And it seems to be towards his B main. Subroza, his spot has been discovered. He knows it's a 2 versus 1. Big paranoia. And as he sprays to fall back, he's able to get the kill. And that was thanks to a cloudburst that was thrown by jmoh. So you gotta count your stars for that for Subroza. Give a little bit of thank you for Immortals. Spike will now be picked up, as they will, with the Empress, try to split back inside this B site, but it's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a 3-on-3 on that area.
Shanks moving in. Quick shots out onto hazed, and oh man, they execute quite literally onto the site. Now Wardell is present and waiting.
Spike planted.
So that laser beam of an op will fire right on through, taking Shanks, who is a serious threat out of this situation. Immortals now has 2 players remaining. Hot hands going down into B main. Drone clearing out positions. A great flash to clear out Hells, but it's a quick 1-2. And now it's down to Genghsta versus Wardell. And that's awkward, but he hits it! No. Genghsta goes full Quake 3, fires the rocket at the wall. Probably one of the most impressive showstopper ults I've ever seen. And he takes out Wardell in the 1v1.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was laughing too because when the rocket went towards the air, it's like it's impossible that it's going to hit him. But look at him. Last second, Genghsta turns into...
Might get a bit of a kickstart off that as well. They needed something to kind of bring them back to life. A bit of resuscitation that acted as a defibrillator. And that shock might be felt through the team, but not when plays like that take place. Drone hits run it back as well to advance the play further forward. jcStani has used the ult to get into the back corner of A site, so a spike plant will be coming through. It's a good adaptation from Immortals. Neptune getting into this advanced position will be pivotal. That flash is huge. Goes inside the dark cover. You need to see more from Neptune in that scenario. Losing the 1v1 against Wardell inside the smoke. Big fat paranoia coming out, flushing jcStani back even further. Wardell says, hey, Drone, I see that 4K you had earlier in this second half. I'm going to do the same thing. It's 11 rounds now. TSM up over Immortals.
And I do understand when you don't run any sentinels. But it pays off from the gameplay that they have, the playstyle they have, and they're looking to hold one more time to try to bring this to the third map. They only need these last 3 kills. jcStani has other words to say, so does jmoh. They turn it over to a 1-minute advantage for Immortals instead. They do have a rolling thunder, though. They're going to let the spike time go down. As soon as it comes out, Drone's going to get the first kill. He knows 1 ran back towards the pillar. So he has to come up to where they decide to roll this thunder from. If you could even call it that.
Flash out!
One player remaining.
Nice shot coming out from Genghsta again in a clutch position on the site. You know, the weapon he's got is maybe not the best given the scenario. Once that fire rate slows down, he's got 1 chance. Mom's spaghetti. It's 13-6. TSM takes the second map over Immortals.
jmoh playing forward here at the mid side and the Ghost as a jet.
Immortals desperately trying to recover after that last map. TSM has all the steam moving forward in their direction. jcStani about to peek out, spots a couple of targets. Can't win in the battle. It's down to Neptune now. It's a 1-on-3. How quickly things have turned in the favor of TSM. And Shanks and Neptune both playing defense towards B, but they're going to be moving up towards Cat, and that's why Drones found that early execution onto Genghsta. jmoh's around the corner as well. The nade is in, and a shock dart as well. jmoh's down on 34 HP. The A site has not actually been lost. They didn't push in. So Subroza right now lurking on the back end of this play. And he's found a free kill onto jmoh, and he's looking for more. Meanwhile, Neptune's over towards spawn stairs, trying to stop this push. They've got players coming in from B main and also stuck in the cubby after dropping out of market. There's no one on the site, so the spike will be planted. But significant damage dealt to some of the players from TSM.
The Shadow Step might think that there was only 1 player playing towards logs. So Drone is still in a very big spot here, just around the corner. Neptune's trying to watch it from the market, but the retake attempt still has to be pressured on by Immortals to try to get into the site. So as the footsteps are being heard, Drone is trying to watch his versus his double peek from Shanks, and Shanks is going to win it, but it's traded off by hazed on that sidewalk. Neptune coming in forward, his teammate right behind him. He does get the first kill onto hazed, just at the back of the side, only 11 HP, and down to 0. jcStani picks up the last one. They get the defuse and the first point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you got to look back at that early shock dart that came.
And as they lose a player towards the back of the B, they're trying to get something done with the showstopper to try to regain control of the B side map. But it's just well for them to waste that. Shanks with the leer and a double peek to get the kill onto Subroza. The hat being thrown by Neptune, and to run it back to try to open the A side. Drone is going to try to even up the tally. And as he gets stopped there from the tree side, jcStani gets 2 kills of his own, and that seems to be coming from the A side in the back of Hell. And as the blaze wall comes down, another to fall. Heroic attempts to not come into fruition for TSM. where hazed is on a 5 versus 1. Looking for an ace if he wants to win. And with the time remaining, there's still a minute left on the clock. So if he's able to capitalize on maybe some mistakes for Immortals where he could separate multiple occasions of 1 versus 1, it can still be doable. Here's the first, and that's going to be the only one. jcStani adds 3 to the board. And this could be a big position for them.
Embarrassing.
The flank's going to come through. It's going to be a fake, and it works out.
Careful now.
Drone. Using the run it back, runs inside dark cover, throws hot hands down, but it's a ruse. They're actually heading across the map now. Wardell hits a nice shot with the op, but he had the spike, so he can't actually get out across. He relies on his teammates a little bit harder. It's okay in the end.
But it seems as though it might be the, hey, let's put up the cyber cage as soon as we hear something. There you go. And if they execute, they could actually go for this double peek instead.
There's the rocket coming in as Subroza gets vertical, but
wow, okay.
While he's mid-air, he gets sliced up by jmoh.
30 seconds left.
So it's a 3-2 favoring Immortals.
Somehow.
Yeah. We might find ourselves at a tie scoreline as we move into the second half. We talked about how one-sided the last 2 maps were. How appropriate that we'd have a close game here on the 3rd and final map of the series. Genghsta does get smoked off. Dark cover lands right on top of him. Hazed is going to move in first. The knives not where they need to be, but Genghsta's able to spot out his target. That's the spike planter. The recon dart does everything.
Yeah. As they do have, let's see, a paranoia that could be thrown to give a chance here for Shanks and jmoh to move forward, but it's going to be a smoke instead at the spawn. And it's going to be a full-out rush. So a big hold that's coming up here for Subroza. And that starts with a boom bot in the face, but no kills. Shanks and Genghsta still opening up in the staircase, though. hazed inside B site, unfortunately dropped. A 3-on-2 with a spike plant for Immortals. Color gonna try to come back through spawn. Drone at B main. So they do have at least that map control. So they know the 3 players are pretty much pinned inside the site.
Shock dart.
And they have a Sova to actually try to get that information. They still have a recon dart too.
Recon darts from both sides giving out some information. Drone currently sitting inside a smoke. He wants to go ahead and go through. So there's the flashbang through. Love the look as the curveball connects. But now it's all up to Drone. The hot hands goes in, forces one into the corner. And it's the molly kill onto Genghsta. The pistols come out, but time is running low. This is well played from Drone, but the clock works against him. He might not even be able to escape the spike just on the edge.
On catwalk with Wardell having that operator, while the rest of Immortals are looking to take this A control off the back of the Owl drone. And we're going back to pretty much what we saw from Haven at Immortals. For Immortals, run behind the Owl drone, be very explosive, get into the sights, and it's jmoh, of all names again, coming in for the entry.
Spike planted.
And the whole W, get into the site, continues to work for this attacker slash. Wow. That's a great way to go for the spray, the spam, the headshot onto Shanks. And a 4-on-4, the spike just freshly planted. So still very doable here for TSM to retake.
Wardell doing him dirty through the floor with the mop. The rest of Immortals looks to survive a little while longer. Double curveball coming out from Drone as they try to get back out.
Big dart.
Spam coming through the floor. It's doing significant damage to some of them, but jmoh's more so on the receiving end than the rest. jcStani now falling as well as Genghsta. It's all up to the last remaining player. It was jmoh. He is low on HP. Wardell should have the time for the defuse. As TSM gets back into the site, it's going to be close.
Oh my God.
0.3. Never trust Neptune. That forces him back just a bit further, and they'll use that to get further up, and that's brutal. Well played from Shanks on the edge of the cyber cage that was thrown down by Neptune. A dismiss to peek towards sidewalk, just to spot if anyone's there, but there's not. Wardell is currently hiding inside the smoke on spawn. His teammate Drone just fell right in front of him. Wardell wants to pounce, but he's waiting for his team to get into position. There's the smoke that comes through. First knives on the money, looking for a follow. He's gonna get it! Wardell's found 3. He's made it manageable. It's down to now a 1-on-2, but we gotta see what hazed is working with. It's just a frenzy, no armor. Throws down dark cover, does have paranoia to work with, that's important. He's also got the shrouded step, so there's a possibility to try and sneak away. Now that dart, that's gonna make things a little awkward. They're trying to spam him through the wall. There's Finally, a weapon pickup for hazed, but time is becoming a problem. So at this point, he's just going to set up and wait for exits, wait for them to try and jump out. They're not giving him anything to work with. A dig shot comes through, but Immortals survives the round. He's prepared to deliver with a shotgun at point-blank range. How much will he get going for him? Now the flash goes behind him, and that's what results in success. The follow-up shot is not a fatal blow. Now there's only one still standing inside A site. It's Cutler, who's immediately traded out by Genghsta. The 3-on-2. Immortals have control of the site. Drone's going to go ahead and pop the ult, run it back into the site. Great shots coming out from Drone. And all of a sudden, we're in a 1-on-2. Things have quickly turned around. Drone with the 3K. Just as the ult
behind it. But it's making its way towards Catwalk. This is where Wardell rotated over. And now they're splitting into B instead.
Yeah.
See what they can try to do. Shanks trying to move in quick, but TSM is just cutting them apart. TSM has found double-digit rounds. Again, we talked.
This is really difficult here for TSM's position, especially after that kill. Long range with a Spectre. Oh my god. You hate to see it.
Yeah, that should not be a thing. Great shooting from Neptune. Here comes Cutler trying to come through. Nice shooting on the Stinger to at least equalize. Neural Theft was popped. Shock darts coming out as well for Cutler to try and do some additional damage. But they've managed to make it out onto the site yet again. The A site is the destination. There's the Hunter's Fury being popped by Cutler, looking for some pulses to land. Oh, just barely squeezes one in on the edge of jcStani, who's down now to 45 HP. A couple of bullets coming through the floor, connecting with Shanks. He's got to be careful. That's why he's playing off the edge of this one. Blaze wall coming out to allow them across. I love this. They're going to clear out hell with this potentially, but no. He actually lands inside his teammate's molly, but he still gets a long-range shot. It's down to jcStani, 45 HP. He's going for the ult to get away, and he actually manages to escape. But does he? He's inside A main, and unfortunately not much can be done. We are going to overtime as TSM come up with a huge potentially get in their way and slow them down. Some spam is all that's coming through for the side of TSM. Ooh. Drone with a nice flash. Catches Shanks off guard. jmoh wasn't able to help. There's a blaze wall that comes through as well. They're continuing this fight towards B, and they're trying to get into the site. They found the collapse on the site they need, but that's a great peek from Cutler. It's now down to 2 for Immortals. There's still a chance, but hope is certainly dwindling. 15 HP for jcStani, and he's stuck in a terrible position on sidewalk with the spike, no less. That shock dart terrifying as it comes around the corner. It's all up to Genghsta. Genghsta alone. There's a shot around the corner coming in from Wardell's off, but it doesn't come through in time. In the end, it will be Cutler who closes things out. TSM take the series